I chose this week was called Lucky Beans, and it is by Becky Bertha, illustrated by Nicole Tagdell. Cold wind whipped through Marshall Loman's old wool jacket. The snow froze his toes right through his hand-me-down boots. He ran up the steps into the steamy kitchen. "What's for dinner, Ma? I'm starving." "Get those boots off and hang your coat up," Ma said without looking around, "and I don't want to hear any complaints about dinner." But Marshall had already peeked into the big pot. "Beans again? Ah, Ma, can't we ever have anything else?" "Yes, it's beans again, and we're lucky to have them, so get washed on the double and then set the table." Marshall didn't feel so lucky. The elbows of his jacket were worn almost all the way through. Dad had been out of work for months, and there was no money. The house was crowded since Aunt Minnie and Uncle Matt moved in. Now Marshall had to share his room with his little brother and sister, Tommy and Patsy, and he was starting to hate beans. After dinner, when Ma pulled out her mending basket, Marshall showed her his worn-out jacket. Dad turned on the radio. "President Roosevelt's going to speak tonight," he said. "Maybe he's found a way to get America out of the mess we're in." Marshall was halfway through his homework when the president came on the radio. He didn't understand all the big words, but he knew Mr. Roosevelt was on the poor people's side. On the way to school the next morning, Marshall and Tommy trudged past Kaplan's furniture store. Whenever Marshall helped Ma carry groceries home, she would stop and look at the shining sewing machine in the window. "Only $23.95, the sign had said. That was $23.95 that Ma would never have. Today, alongside the sewing machine, was the biggest jar of beans he had ever seen. There was a different sign. "How many beans are in the jar? Win this brand new sewing machine." "How many beans they got in there, Marshall?" Tommy pulled on Marshall's sleeve. 100? 1,000? "How should I know?" Marshall answered. But he was thinking, "I know somebody who would know." On the way home, Marshall looked through the store window again. Ladies were writing on little cards of paper and pushing them through a slot into a big box. That night, after Ma checked his homework, Marshall told her about the contest. The next day, when Marshall and Tommy got home, Ma said, "I went to the furniture store today." She was cooking beans again. "Did you enter the contest?" "Not so fast. I need a little more time to chew it over." "Aren't you going to complain about having beans?" Ma joked. Marshall shook his head. "I figure the more you know about beans, the better."